Today's guest is Emily Lazar, the lead singer and frontwoman of the screamo metal band September Mourning. She is also the creator of a transmedia universe that spans music, comics, and performance. Emily built September Mourning as both a band and comic book series published through Image Comics. It's a project that merges storytelling, fantasy, and heavy music into something unique with a loyal fan base around the world. Over Emily's career, she's been signed to Virgin Records, worked with legends in comics like Mark Silvestri, and built a multimedia identity that is equal parts art and mythology. She was also featured in the Netflix documentary on NFTs called NFT WTF, which highlighted her role as one of the first musicians to embrace this new space. When the pandemic hit and touring shut down, Emily transitioned into NFTs, taking her comics, her music, and her visual art and turning them into on-chain experiences. These projects sold out across multiple platforms, and she used NFTs not just as digital collectibles, but as tickets and backstage passage, creating direct relationships with her fans in ways the traditional music industry could never offer. I am a huge fan of Emily and her music, and this conversation was special because I got to learn directly from a musician who has successfully bridged the gap between traditional art and Web3. Without further ado, here is my conversation with Emily Lazar of September Mourning.
Creating music and
Yeah.
running around the world, doing my thing. How about
Yeah,
you?
just doing this podcast
Yeah.
and just relaxing, taking it easy, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
You look good. You look relaxed. Your skin looks bright and glowy.
Yeah, I've been like outside, like swimming every day. My dogs just
Oh,
started like loving the pool. So yeah, I've been like living in the pool with them.
yeah, you look kind of tan. I look so pale. Look at me compared to you. I'm like the ghost. I'm like Casper over here. Yeah, I've been out in the sun too, like me and Morticia Adams.
Yeah, just getting skin cancer.
Yeah, I stay away from the sun. Well, I'm actually allergic to the sun. So like if I'm out in it for too long without like SPF 100, like I will literally get like red spots all over my body. It's a whole thing. Yeah.
What? That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
When did you
Yeah.
find that out?
When I was a young girl, like my mom would take me to like pools when I was like 6 or 7, and I would just like fucking break out in like hives. And they didn't know what it was. They thought it was something I was eating, and we did all these tests, and then we figured it out. It was just like me being out in the sun without sunscreen on. So I started putting on like SPF 100, and I've been doing it ever since.
That's
So
wild.
it's like my vision too is like too much sun on my eyes is really bad too. So like they have like shaded contacts that you can get in Japan. So I get those sometimes depending if I'm outside too much.
That
It's
sucks.
it's a whole fucking thing. I'm a fucking
Yeah.
vampire, I swear to
I'm like,
God.
that fucking sucks. You really are like the actual vampire.
Yeah, just don't stab me through the heart. Anyway,
Well, thank you for doing this. Welcome to the podcast, Emily.
yeah.
We met so long ago back on Clubhouse, and I thought it'd just be good to catch up, just see what you're doing these days. You were, early into Web3, or, you're on the Netflix TV show about NFTs.
Yeah.
You've done some pretty crazy shit in Web3, and
Yeah.
I've always just, watched your journey and enjoyed, just watching from the sidelines. And yeah, just kind of wanted to, we haven't really like sat down like formally and like, talked about like, I don't know, just Web3 and what you've done. And yeah, just kind of wanted to learn a little bit more about you today.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
my name's Emily. Hi,
Hi,
John. Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. You're in September Mourning, an incredible band. Yeah.
Yeah, I founded the band September Mourning. It's a transmedia project. It's a multimedia project based on a comic book character that I play on stage. And the comic book series is published through Image Comics. It's 4 books in a graphic novel. You can buy it anywhere on any site like Walmart, Target, Image Comics, obviously, Top Cow Comics, obviously. Barnes and Noble has it. Like a lot of comic book shops carry it because it is Image, and Image is the 3rd biggest comic book company in the world. My
They did
business part,
Spawn, right?
what's that?
They did Spawn, I think.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Todd's a friend. Yeah, he's amazing. And Mark Silvestri is my business partner. and he's kind of like a legend in comics. If you don't know who he is, he was the first guy to draw Wolverine back in the day. And he has that famous Wolverine of Wolverine on the X, like the cross almost. Like it's a favorite comic book cover of mine. But yeah, so he started Top Cow, and he was part of the Image Comics movement. Um, he, penned The Darkness and Witchblade and a bunch of different Cyberforce and a bunch of different comics. And that grew to be huge IPs. And so I got together with him, told him I wanted to do this like, multimedia sort of weird project and dress up as a comic book character and tour in a metal band. And he was like, cool, let's do it. And I was like, oh, wow, really? Okay, cool.
How long ago was that?
I started talking to him in 2009, and
Okay.
then we worked on the comic book character for about 3 or 4 years before we had the story done and everything like that. We launched the project in about 2014 officially.
Okay.
And that's when we kind of like got signed like later in that year to Virgin Records and yeah, it was like off to the races after that. So but
What
yeah,
was it like
yeah.
getting signed back then to Virgin Records, especially?
Yeah, it was like, I mean, it was one of the last like big deals, I think,
Yeah,
that,
I feel like that. Yeah.
yeah, that it doesn't, it was a different type of deal back then. You have to remember that was like 10 years ago. So it was like the industry was a little bit different, not that different. It's kind of, it's just moved in a different direction now. But yeah, Ron Fair signed me. Ron is like pretty famous in his own right. He signed Christina Aguilera, made her huge. He signed a bunch of people and a bunch of bands actually. He's really into rock bands.
Okay.
So yeah, so Ron signed me. I did a showcase for him and he stood up afterwards and he clapped and the whole Virgin Record stood up and clapped. And as somebody who's been like signed couple of times, 4 times,
Yeah.
5 times now, it's like, and worked my whole life, like to get to a place like that. It was like kind of like a dream come true to have that response. And then you signed me on the spot. So after my showcase, and so that was that. And then we were off to the races. But then he got let go from Virgin 6 months into my deal, and it really just harpooned my deal. Like he had the vision for it. He knew exactly what I wanted to do. He's like, you're a Monster High girl that's like doing metal. This is perfect. We can do all these brand deals and endorsements and this and that, the third. And he's like, and you look like this in real life. And it's like, it's perfect. And so it would have been huge, but the universe has other plans sometimes. The universe likes to laugh when you think you have a plan. So
I love
yeah, so
that.
anyway, he left, and then we were shortly after that let go from Virgin, along with pretty much all of the bands, because they rolled into Capitol, and they kept 30 Seconds to Mars, they kept Bastille, and a couple of other bands that had already kind of proven themselves or had charts working for them or anything like that. But we hadn't even released our record, so I got my record back after a while. That took a minute. And then I got flipped to Sumerian Records. And Sumerian has like Poppy and Bad Omens and a bunch of bands like that, but those weren't on the label when I was there. They were still building over there pretty heavily. But they were good people, and but it was again, a lot of the record business is timing. It really is. Like you just have to be in the right place at the right time, and then your music has to hit at the right time for the music. And unfortunately, that album was like, by that time it was a couple years old, so like when we did put it out, the songs didn't really like hit as hard as they would have if we got to put it out the year that we were supposed to put it out.
Mhm.
So, and we were also moving into a pandemic, which we didn't know at the time, but fucking we were on tour supporting the record, and all of a sudden the Marion's like, the world is closing down, so nobody's touring for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And that was like a bummer because we made all of our money on the road. We're a touring rock band. And even though we have comics and this and that, the other, and we have like, other forms of income, the main form of income for touring rock fans is being on tour.
Right.
So, so
Selling
yeah,
merch. Yeah.
Merch, yeah, merch is huge for bands. So yeah, so it was kind of a bummer. Like, we kind of like lost that momentum. And we had just finished our deal with Sumerian, and we had been on a singles deal, just kind of putzing around, seeing what we wanted to do with them, but they just didn't know what to do with us, and they didn't have at that time, they just didn't have the money either to like really support a project like ours. We weren't on a major label. So we just kind of like did what we could, in the time that we could. And we split from the label and went independent right before the pandemic because I was in clubhouse rooms, like, which I think I met you in a clubhouse room.
Yep.
Yeah, like I was in clubhouse rooms like 24/7 during like the beginning of the pandemic because I had nobody to talk to. I was like, oh my God, like, I'm just used to be on tour and I have like no friends. Like, what's going on? So, and I was like, and now I have to sit in my room for like ever. And, like, what is like, what am I going to do with my life? And like, I'm the type of person that if I'm not working on like 6 different projects, I'm like, okay, I'm being a lazy motherfucker. So,
Right.
like I
Same.
have to be working incessantly. So anyway, so yeah, I got into Bitcoin again because I bought a Bitcoin in 2014. One Bitcoin. I was in a
Why?
yeah. I was in a recording studio in Vegas with my friend
Okay.
Kane Churko, and we're working on this song. And I was I was trying to get the chorus, and it was really shitty. Like I was putting out the shittiest choruses, and he's like, "Girl," he's like, "We need to stop. Like, we need to take a break." And he's like, "I'm gonna go buy some Bitcoin." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "What are you buying?" And he's like, "Oh, Bitcoin. It's like this new money." And I was like, "Okay, are you high? Like, what's going on?" And he's like, "No, you should check it out. You should check it out." So he like showed me everything. And when I went back from the studio that night, I just bought one in a Coinbase wallet and I stuck it in there. And then I never looked at it again.
Yeah.
And the pandemic rolls around and I'm in these clubhouse rooms and I'm like, oh, Bitcoin. I had a Bitcoin. And I look at my Bitcoin wallet and I'm like, 30,000. What the fuck? Like, I bought this for
Let's
like
go.
$700. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
to the price action, I was like, okay, I got to figure out what the fuck is going on here. Cause like, this is exciting and weird. And like, is this, like, what is going on? So, I started in with the Bitcoin maxis in the clubhouse rooms. You remember those rooms?
Those guys were crazy. There was
Dude, they're
one,
all my friends.
oh my
They're
God,
all
there was that
like,
one guy, Bitcoin. Oh, he would scream and yell. I
oh,
forgot.
yeah. Bitcoin, Tina. Bitcoin Tina.
Bitcoin Tina.
Bitcoin
Yes.
Tina.
Bitcoin Tina. That
He
guy was
loved
so,
me. He was
dude,
like,
he
"You
was
scream
so
on a metal
angry.
band, and I scream on fucking Clubhouse." And I'm like, "All right, guy."
That guy was
Like,
awesome.
so funny. Yeah. So,
Hardcore maxis.
oh God, hardcore. I was in there with Bitcoin Tina. I was in there with Jason Williams. I was in there with Terrence Yang. I was in there with, I mean, you name it. Jimmy Song was in there. I remember I had an argument with Jimmy Song when NFTs came out because Jimmy Song is so hardcore Bitcoin. So, and he was like, "Yeah, the NFTs are a scam," and da da da. And and I was like, I'm a performing artist and I'm a metal musician and I tour. Like, we're in a pandemic. Like, I still have music. I want to put it out there. I want to make money on my music. And then if you buy this thing, you can come to my shows and get a backstage pass for free. So how is that a scam? And you can do that for the rest of your life, like if you hold it. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh. And I was like, yeah, like,
Oh.
we went back and forth for a bit on it, but then he kind of capitulated to me. And I was like, yes, won against Jimmy's song. Did somebody record this? But yeah, it was like a big win for me. I was like, the W. But yeah, that was pretty cool. But they all became my friends. Like I still talk to a lot of them. I'm doing some things that hopefully with one of them. But yeah, I mean, they're great people and they're just super libertarian and, but they taught me everything I know about Bitcoin and the market and everything like that. And, Terrence Yang, who works over at Swan Bitcoin, Terrence got me into, NFTs. He was the guy that called me and was like, and he's a Bitcoin maxi, right? So it was like, he's like, I'm doing this on the down low. Like, don't tell anybody I'm telling you this. And he's like, we got to get into a room with Devin from OpenSea. We got to do a private room with him and like Alan Henna. And I was like, okay. We said so remember Alan
I
Henna?
remember Alan. I remember
Alan?
Alan.
Oh God.
Yeah, he had a crypto punk.
Dude.
Yeah, he liked ETH. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was me, Alan Henna, Devin from OpenSea, the owner of OpenSea, and Terrence Yang, and we're sitting in a private big clubhouse room talking about me launching my first NFT project. Like, talk about fucking epic. Like,
Wow,
you don't
that's
know what
cool.
that is. Like, back then, I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
who these people, but now I'm like, damn, like that was
yeah.
fucking a moment, you know? I lived in a moment there. And yeah, and Terrence bought my first NFT. It's in a wallet that he can't access anymore, so it will never be sold.
That's actually kind
um,
of cool.
yeah, which is kind of cool.
What was your
And
first NFT?
my first NFT was Wake the Dead on it was it was a I think I did 6 of them. And remember Laser Eyes? Remember everybody had the fucking laser eyes
Oh
on
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Clubhouse?
totally.
You
Yeah,
remember that,
bullish.
right?
Yeah, for
Mhm.
Bitcoin. Yeah, it was
Yeah, yeah,
green
yeah.
for
So I
Ethereum, red
had
for yeah,
laser eyes going in
yeah, the
some because
green.
I animated the comic book, and then I layered the song over it, and then I had the backstage pass as my unlockable, and then I minted out six of them. Like, we opened the room and they all went away. Like, it was just like and I made more money in like 5 seconds than I made on my last tour. So I was like, what the fuck just happened, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
what the fuck's going on?
yeah, what the fuck is going on? And but yeah, that was, yeah, you can look it up. It's on OpenSea. It's the September Morning, the Soul Collection. And they had put, so Devin's like, we're gonna put a banner on OpenSea so that you're like, you know, and it said collect the Soul Collector, and it had like my laser eyes, like September Morning. I think I still have a screenshot of it. Like, and it's like on the banner of OpenSea, and there were like 5 people on there. And it was like, you know, it was like me right there. And like, we sold out like that. We just kept on selling out. And that September Morning Soul Collection project just went bam, 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 bam. And then I
That's
launched
crazy.
I launched the 1000 piece September's Monsters collection after that. I moved to Gala Music. That sold out. I moved to Gala Music. I sold out. I don't even know how many projects on Gala. And I became a big artist over there. Did a lot of stuff with Gala Music. I did stuff with Sound XYZ. Wasn't a big fan of that platform as much as Gala, so I was mainly on Gala, but I did Sound. I did Foundation, or Foundation, before it became what it is. Like,
Yeah,
but yeah, and Zora, before the Zora token thing, like Zora actually was a platform where you could mint NFTs, um and I
I
did all
remember that.
that there. Yeah, like I sold out. I sold out across board. Like, I mean, I think 11 different platforms. I did a trading card project with all the different like evil villains in my comic book, and like they were like World of Warcraft cards, so they
Oh,
looked
that's so
like,
cool.
dude, it was so cool. And they were animated. So like they were like throwing
Oh,
shit at you. And so it was fucking cool. Like, I mean,
that's
I was like,
rad.
dude, this is badass. Like, you know, and they all had different power levels and shit like that. Like Fate had like a
Yeah,
bigger, and the Dark Man, and then each Reaper, and they showed their story, like Shadow, like reaps souls in the shadows. He goes in and out of shadows. That's his power. Like, you can't see him unless there's a shadow around. Like, you know, I mean, all this lore was like just packed into it. And that sold out over at on Nifty Gateway when Nifty Gateway opened up like that. So that was pretty cool. And
that's
yeah,
dope.
yeah, and then I moved that. I did more of those, and I did a whole Dark Man collection. He's like the one of the main villains in the graphic novel. And so I did this Dark Man collection on, what was that, where you can mint your own stuff and you do your own contracts. Fuck, I forgot.
Manifold.
Manifold, thank you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Manifold. I did a Manifold project. I sold about 100 of them or something like it was just fun shit. I just kept on like throwing shit out. I was like, oh, this is cool. Let's do this, you know? And every single one got you into my show, like backstage for free. And I was just like, this is great. This is a great way to sell my backstage passes instead of selling them on like fucking Ticketmaster or some shit. Like, actually sell them directly to my fans, get them like personalized, like get
Yeah.
in contact with these people, like keep a real contact with them, and make sure they come out to the shows like when I come through. And we've had so many people use these things and utilize them over the past 4 years. It's kind of crazy. And people still hold on to their monsters. They don't trade them that much because they want to come to the shows, because we are a live band. So,
Yeah.
you know, it was pretty cool.
Do you feel like that kind of got rid of like the middleman a little bit by being able to have
Oh,
that like
100%.
democracy?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, 100%. I mean, like, and I remember talking to my agent. He was like, "So what are you doing over there?" Like, what?
Yeah,
Because I
right.
was so focused on Web3, and like all the other bands are focused on like streaming. They like I don't remember the fucking TikTok dances and the no, not even the TikTok, the streaming on Twitch where you would stream video games or you'd stream dancing or like or
Oh,
doing
totally.
yeah, but it was like
Yeah, that
you
was
had
like
these
early TikTok and Twitch. Yeah.
yeah, that was like when the pandemic started, right? And do you remember you had all these musicians doing like comedy skits? And I was like, I'm a fucking musician. I'm not a comedian, dude. I can be funny. Don't get me wrong. But like, I'm not here to do
Yeah, I'm like,
that.
don't cut
So
yourself short. You're pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah. But I was like, I don't want to I don't want to fucking sell myself out as like something I'm not, And so I don't want to go and shake my ass on TikTok, I'll like do that on OnlyFans. I'm just kidding. But like, it was like maybe, but like
Maybe
maybe,
7.99.
you see my Instagram. So like, but like, it's like stuff like that. I was just kind of like, look, that's against what I want to do. So I didn't really lean into that, but it got a lot of those bands and those people a lot of attention. You could go on and you could sing and stuff like that, but I was like, I'm in a metal band, dude. It's not gonna, what am I gonna sit with my guitar? Like, it's just, no, I'm not, I don't want to do this. I just didn't want to do it. And so I
Yeah.
was like, I want to just lean into Web3, lean into NFTs, make art. Like, I started the Pixie Girl paintings. Like, I took all of my paintings, I made them into animated like things. I put them on the blockchain. They had little clips of the instrumentals of some of our songs, like remixed, and like we would put those clips in there. Then you could download it if you wanted to and mix them yourself. Like we did all this fun shit with all this stuff, and we just kept on doing it, and it was a really great ride. And but again, like my Web2 people, my agent, he's like, "What are you doing over there? Like, what is this?"
Right.
And he's like, "How can I make money off this?" I was like, "Dude, like, okay, like, calm down." But like, but yeah, it's just, it became like this like weird little niche. I'm like in a niche metal band that plays a comic book character on stage, and now I'm in a niche market of like Web3 people that talk about crazy shit on the internet. Like, so it's like I'm the niche of the niche of the niche. But
Well,
I
you're
think
kind
there's
of the
power.
actually I was about to say you're kind of like at the perfect opportunity because there are very few musicians I feel like they could have done NFTs, but because you have that transition between comics and that like symbiotic relationship with music, you were able to enter into the art field. What made like how did you decide like what art to put out there and stuff like? Because I know you've done comics, but I mean with NFTs, like what? How did you decide what to create? And that's not easy.
I just kind of stuck with the storyline, and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
let me just take really, you know, like great pieces of the story that are like kind of like those moments, those beat moments in a story, like you have beats when you write a story. So like I was like, I'm going to take those beat moments and the art that surrounds them, and I'm going to make things out of that. And like because those are the most important parts of the story. And I had four comic books to work with, like four, that's a lot of art. So, and
yeah,
I owned it all, so like I was like, okay, and then so on top of that, I went ahead and I like worked with another artist that was kind of working with me on comic book stuff anyway, and I commissioned him for a couple pieces, and I also just kind of like brought him in on NFTs a little bit, and he started doing like some random like pieces of like different characters like fate and stuff like that. So we did like an unholy fate drop on async. So async, I don't know if you remember this, but they did a really cool music platform that you could like basically do the stems of each song, and then people could pick the stems they want and remix it. And so it was crazy. So like I had like 50, 60 remixes of Unholy that people had bought with this art of the fate character with like lightning. And so he's kind of like a badass looking character
yeah.
with big horns and stuff like that. So like it was just awesome, like the whole thing, it was very, like World of Warcraft, Lord of the Rings. I mean, I'm in that world. I just like, dive in there. So if people like that, they were really into it. And then usually people that like that sort of stuff like metal. So it kind of just works hand in hand. So yeah, and I
Did you
brought in a lot of people from Web 2 that way.
did you grow up with like World of Warcraft and all that stuff? Like what got you into that type of art?
Oh yeah, like
You're a World of Warcraft girl?
I played WoW, but
Oh,
I played it under a pseudonym that was kind of like I won't say it because people will look it up, but
Yeah.
but it everybody thought I was a dude. So like nobody thought and I would never go on mics. So like if I was playing with anyone or anything like that, and then I would never play in open forums. Like I would never go to the comic book store and play World of War. I was just never do. I was always online
Yeah.
and perpetually and yeah, it was like I was just masking as a dude, kind of like the Web3 guys that mask as women now. I was doing it as dudes. So, um, and it's not like the first time people have called me a man. So there you go.
Did you play any MMOs before World of Warcraft, or was that like your first
That was kind of
introduction?
like my first dive into it. I was like, and I got hooked because I just thought it was so cool. And I just love fantasy art and like I love fantasy and comics and like a huge Lord of the Rings fan, huge Star Wars fan, but more Lord of the Rings fan. But I just love that sort of those universes that people build. So
Yeah.
for me, it was kind of like, I mean, I was Dungeons and Dragons a little bit, back in the day, but like, yeah,
And I had never seen Lord of the Rings until about like 6 months ago.
what the fuck? Who are
I know,
you,
I know.
John?
I'm embarrassed to
I'm
admit
gonna
this.
slap you
I know
on the
when we're
camera.
in person, I give you permission, but I sat down, I watched all the director's cuts, the full marathon, like 12 hours.
Oh, nice.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's
Incredible.
like, I mean, if you really, really loved it, go
It's
read the
really
books.
good.
The books are
Yeah.
like next level. And you can like if when you work out, you can just put book, like they're on Audible or whatever. So you just like listen to them when you work out. And I've done that. I went through the whole fucking that and Game of Thrones and like I mean just, it's
I
great.
still need to do Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones is great. I like the books better than the actual show. Honestly, they leave out a lot of stuff from the books, and the books have a way like the way George writes. It's like he's just so thorough with like character development. So it's just like I don't know. I'm really like particular about writers. So yeah, like yeah, I'm a writer myself. So like I'm very particular. But yeah.
Did that
So.
start like at an early age?
Oh yeah, I won like the Young Authors Award like when I was like a preteen and stuff, and I always just loving I always loved like world building because I think it was because like I grew up in a really broken home, so like I always needed to like get the fuck out in my head.
Right.
So like I was always just like making up worlds like that I could just like live in, I don't know if that makes me like weird, but it was escapism. And I think that's what people use movies and TV for anyway, is escapism, like get out of their heads, get out of their world. But I literally had to do it. I left home when I was 12 because I mean, if I had stayed home, I probably would have killed myself. So it was like it was that
Wow.
bad. But like
Like
I
that
was,
bad. Yeah.
it is what it
Uh,
is. So
Where'd you grow
um
up?
New York mostly, but I was
New York is
around different places, so but
I've
yeah.
seen the movie Kids.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, is that kind of like the New York vibe? Is that what it was like growing up? I have no
Um,
clue what it's like growing up in a big city. I grew up in like small town.
oh really?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I grew up in shit childhood, don't get me wrong,
Okay,
but
great. Good. Power to us. Yeah.
yes, power to the shit childhoods, but yeah, small town. Yeah, it was not like
Where
a
were
big
you? Were you in
so if you Marana, Arizona,
Oh shit, I don't even know if that place exists.
yeah,
Wait, is that
it's
like
like
outside Phoenix or no?
so I got moved. My mom ended up like going in and out of prison, and I ended up in like
Oh
Marana,
wow.
Arizona, which is kind of like this trailer like park, kind of like, it's not back then. It's gotten a lot better. Now it's like
Yeah.
cleaned up and it's actually pretty cool. But back
Yeah.
then it was kind of like just meth head farmers.
Oh
It wasn't a
shit.
cool place
Yeah.
to be. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like 8 Mile shit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, honestly, yeah, trailer parks, every
Yeah.
every kid would had, like holes in their fucking trailer and that was a window. It was
Wow.
fucking
Wow, it's like
disgusting out
that.
there. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like I definitely like but what's it like growing up like in New York? Like is it like the kids movie? Like what is that's all I know.
It's like, yeah, I mean, I kind of moved into the city when I was pretty young. So, Family's like what you make it, right? Like I've learned
Yep.
that through life. Like I have quote unquote family in New York, but they're not like blood family. They're like my uncles. I have a lot of uncles in New York, like that do a lot of weird shit. So, and very
Okay.
powerful people that do a lot of weird shit.
You
Um,
Italian?
some of them are. Some of
Okay.
them are Jewish mafias. I mean, just kidding. I don't use that word. But like, yeah, I mean, yeah, some gay mafia. Just kidding. Not even kidding. But yeah.
The
So,
gay cabal.
yeah, the gay mafia cabal. But yeah, I mean, look at me. Don't you think they raised me? But let's be real.
You're their queen.
Yeah, I'm like the queen of the game mafia. But yeah, so I mean, basically, yeah, I mean, I met them when I was very young, because I mean, you kind of need protection in that city, man. It's a hard city
Yeah.
to grow up in, and this is 2000s, and like, and I was, I feel like the universe just pushes me in directions, and I'm the type of person that just follows that. I follow that energy pattern. I've always done it, and I've never really like questioned it. I've just kind of done it, right? So I would follow these energy patterns into different situations, and I'd meet different people, and they were all very like influential people in New York City. And so whenever I go back there, I always have these people that look out for me. Like if I ever
That's
need
good.
any problem, if I ever have any problem in the city, I never have a problem in the city, if you know what I mean. So, so like, if you go to that city, you're going to my city.
You
So,
swimming with the fishes.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, and it's crazy. I was talking to one of my uncles I'm very close to him. I talk to him like every other day. So like, and he's telling me this crazy ass stories. I shouldn't tell him on the podcast because I don't want to get him in trouble, but like he did some crazy shit, John. It was fucking nuts back in the day
Yeah.
with him. And it's like, and yeah, New York's
New
just its
York's a
own
wild
animal.
place.
It's
It's an
its own
organism.
animal. Like people that didn't grow up there don't realize like how it works, and how it worked back in the day and then into the 2000s when all the clubs came into fruition that were bottle service, that whole crew. And then people that it's so funny, like my friends that were promoters, like, like are now club owners, and like, or they sold their clubs now, and now they're starting families. And like, it's crazy watching the transformation of people, and like, and the city, and how the city moves, and it's like a creature. It's literally a creature, and it's crazy. There's so much energy there. A lot of people get like turned off from it because they can't deal with the energy. But like, yeah, yeah, a lot of people like can't deal with it. It's a lot. Like I'm telling you, it's a lot. But I mean, for me, I was like a young teenager. Like I fucking loved
You
it. Like it
you
was
live and
like,
breathe it.
yeah, it's like every day was a new adventure. Like it was just, and also I was so like locked in. So I was like, I could go anywhere, like I didn't have to worry. So I was just, it was just a really magical time in my life. Um, and then I got signed when I was 18, my first record deal. So like that started a whole musical journey for me.
How long did you spend in New York?
I was going in and out of the city during high school. I graduated high school early, and then I got into professional dance company. So I left the city for a little while, but then I fell down a marble staircase and broke bones and stuff. And so I had to stop dancing as a ballerina for a while. Um since I was
Whoa.
four to about 18.
What?
And
Whoa. So
yeah.
you broke like a lot of bones to the point where you couldn't walk or dance or
So I broke my elbow, like,
okay.
and I fractured something in like my ankle. So like I was like on crutches and like in a cast like for 6 months or something like that. I don't know how long it was, but it was long enough for me to be like, okay, fuck, like how am I going to come back into this whole thing? And the thing is like ballet's so intense, and I was in it since I was 4. So it was like I was like, I don't know if I have the energy to re like rehabilitate myself and then have the energy to do what I was doing before. Because you have to, like, it wasn't just like show up to dance class and do rehearsal. That was not my life. My life was get up at 6 a.m., go to the gym, run, do free weights, go to the studio like 2 hours early, do an hour of Pilates, do an hour of stretching and like other Pilates mat work, then go into an hour and a half ballet class, then go into 6 hours of rehearsal. So that was my life every fucking day except for Sundays. So like when people are like, "Oh yeah, I'm working so hard," I'm like, "Bitch, you don't know work." Like that was
Yeah.
like what I did the beginning of my life, like, and I used to go to the ballet studio when I was a little girl because I was escaping my family. Like I like just I asked like my older brother to drop me off or my mom to drop me off or my dad to drop me off so that I could just not be home, you know. Um
Yeah.
and yeah. So
Do you think so? Like for me, like my photography is like my therapy. I feel like it's kind of like, like my way. Do you think at an early age you developed like that therapy for art between dance and whatever else you were doing? Like, is that kind of because you were escaping your family? Was that kind of a version of your therapy?
oh yeah, 100%. I mean, I think that's what art is, right? Like you
Right.
said, your photography, that's you do it because for me, it was a place to funnel two things, pain and anger. I had a lot of
Hmm.
anger. I still have a lot of anger. Like I have a lot of anger. And
No,
I scream in a metal band. I have a lot
I
of
was
fucking anger.
no you.
No, me angry all the time? What?
I feel like you're the
Like, yeah,
calmest.
I'm the calmest motherfucker on the planet. No, like sometimes I'll just go off in a room. Like today, like I was on Twitter Spaces or
Yeah.
X Spaces, whatever the fuck people want to call it now. And some dude who's like a total misogynist.
Fuck that
Just
guy.
yeah, fuck that guy. Like he was like going off about the guy that got shot today, and I was just like, can we not talk about that? Can we talk about like maybe something positive? Like, okay, how are we going to change the world if this is happening? Like, what are we going to
Yeah, we're gonna
do?
fix it.
Like, how are we going to fix it? Like, and he's like, you're going to tell me to get rid of my guns. I was like, this bitch is not going to take my, and I was like, did you just call me a bitch? Like, so like, that was like, that was it. And I was
Yep,
like,
that
you
was
don't
it.
know where I am in my menstrual cycle right now. So you're about to get it. So, like, you're about to get a bitch. So I just like unloaded on him. I was just like, I will throat punch you. Like, you don't know who my uncle is in New York. Like, you won't even see it coming. Like,
You don't know what level of crazy I am.
you don't know, bitch. You don't fucking know. And you don't want to know. Yeah. And then he was like, and then he's like, if I see you in a dark alley, I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna kill you. And I was like, did you just threaten me on X? Like, all right, you know.
Fuck.
But that's how like the
That's how
crypto
X is. Yeah, yeah. That's how the internet is,
people
right?
are. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, good times. But yeah,
Yeah.
anyway,
Wow.
back to anger and pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like, that's what I use to get myself out of it. And I'm a bit of a masochist. I think we all are to some degree. But like ballet was great
I'm
for
more
that.
sadistic.
More sadistic, yeah. Some are more sadistic than others. Like I've dated most of them, by the way, so I know this for firsthand experience. But yeah, I'm more masochist because I liked the pain. So like I was like for ballet, like I was constantly in pain. I mean, I would take off my point shoes and like my feet were bleeding to the point where my toenails were like just cracking off. Like it was like, and I just didn't feel it anymore. Like the pain was just gone. But it felt so good that I was like bleeding through my toe shoes. Like I was like, fuck yeah. Like I was sore and I couldn't walk and I would do ice baths and like, John Wick style. Like it was very that, like except
Yeah.
without the, killing. But yeah, I mean, it was very that. And I loved the pain. So I would just work through it. And I learned at an early age that pain is just mental. You can work through any fucking pain. Um, which is really important because I think life does give you a lot of shit. And the people that are more resilient and learn the trick that your mind is you craft your mind doesn't control you, you control your mind. And so if you can just contort it to manage that pain and that in a way that feeds you instead of debilitates you, then it becomes super powerful. So I took that and I put all of that pain and all of that anger and I put it into ballet and I just got obsessed. Obsessed. So that's why I got into a company so young, and like because I outworked everybody. And I swear to God, outworking people beats talent every single time. Like doesn't
Yeah,
even fucking matter.
ambition. Yeah,
Doesn't even matter.
ambition far exceeds talent, right?
Oh, 100%, 100%. It really does. Like, I mean, but it's good when you have the talent and the work ethic, then you're just unstoppable. Then you're Lady Gaga, then you're like, then you're you're the ones. Um, but even if you have a crazy work ethic, you can basically beat talent pretty much anytime.
You ever heard that quote, comfort is a killer of creativity?
Yes,
What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's 100% true. I think
Yeah.
that I think that the best songwriters, I think the best artists, I think the are tormented souls. Like just if I didn't, eh, I was talking to my therapist a while back about this, and I was just like, you know what, like because we talked about a lot of shit, and you grew up in a shitty home, so like you go through these things that are just people, if you told them to people, they'd be like, I can't believe you're alive, sort of thing. And like
Hmm.
and so like you go through these things, and then you're like you get older, and you're like you question like, why did that happen? And but then I realized, like, I wouldn't have created September Morning. I wouldn't have created the art I create. I wouldn't have written the songs I wrote. I wouldn't have like come up with a whole world of this Reaper human hybrid that can take souls and gives people second chances at life. Because
Hmm.
I mean, I basically came up with that idea because the love of my life when I was like 20, like died of like an overdose because like I got him clean for 3 years, and then he decided to go back to a funeral, and that was it. He just slipped and one needle, and it was all over, and I
That's
lost
all it
him.
took.
And he was like, that was it. That was my person, dude. And so
Hmm.
I created a character that could bring people back from the dead and like put them in other people's bodies. And because I wanted him to survive, like, and he does survive. He survives through my project.
Yeah, you use your
Yeah,
art to remember to let him live forever.
exactly. So like we're both gonna like outlive our bodies at this point. So or maybe we won't. Like they're biologically de-aging cells right now from like 50s to 30s. So I don't fucking know. Maybe we'll all live forever by 2030, but if we can make it that long. So
Yeah, we might all make it. Who knows? That'd be kind of fun.
that would be kind of fun. It would be kind of fun to do this forever. Like people are like, oh, you have to die because that's how you appreciate life. Bitch, I appreciate life. Okay. Like, I've seen the bad parts. I appreciate the good parts. So yeah.
Um, from what I'm getting is like you seem to like find like comfort in chaos. I kind of do too. Like I self sabotage quite often. I'm self
Oh, I'm so good at
destructive.
that. I'm so good
Yeah,
at that, John.
I am
So
the
good at
king of
that.
self
It's one of my
destruction.
one of my resume points. Self-sabotage.
Yeah, yeah, self sabotage. Exactly, it is on my resume. But
Saboteur. Self-saboteur.
exactly. What if we find like this comfort in chaos, I want to know like so like it led me to like this calmness of like landscape photography and like solitude and like these happy places and waterfalls, and it led you to this just like wild ass screamo band, fucking chaos
Total
hard,
opposite. Yeah.
fucking complete opposite.
Yeah.
So you went from ballet. At what point did you get into music, and then at what point did you get into fucking screamo? Like
So I was
fucking
signed to a pop.
crazy.
I was signed to a pop deal first because
Stop.
I look like this. So they were like, okay, so you're gonna, and I've looked like this for a while. So
Do
you're
you
gonna.
have pop music? Do you have pop music somewhere?
I am not divulging that. You need to do the deep dive into my past and the deep dive into fucking my WoW account and like to
Oh
find
boy.
out certain things about me. But we are not going into that arena. We are not doing that. It did very well for me for a minute. And then the label I was on was an independent that was going to get flipped to Universal. I was going to get flipped to Universal as a pop star. Pop star. And then the guy that had founded the label was from like a different country, and he was basically evading taxes and washing money through the label.
What the
So like,
fuck?
so like, go figure, a dirty person in the music business.
Shocking.
Shocking. Shocking.
Someone exploiting the music business.
Somebody exploiting artists. What?
What?
What is this? What is this mystical? Yeah. Anyway, so Universal was like, we're not touching that shit. So like that was the end of that. Then I got flipped to another label, and then I got flipped to another. Like I just kept on getting flipped on. And also I was kind of getting into Warped Tour at that point.
Yeah.
And you know Warped Tour.
Fucking
You're a
yeah.
Warped Tour kid.
I
Come
shot
on.
for Warped Tour a few
Oh
times.
yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, so I got into Warped Tour heavy because all of my friends were in bands on Warped Tour. Danny from Asking Alexandria, like the Blessed to Fall guys, like I mean, all the guys, you know, like everybody's
Yeah.
Alisana, like God, remember Alisana, like
I love
Attack
those. Dude,
Attack. Remember
I
Attack
grew
Attack?
up like idolizing Pantera and then became good friends with Vinnie Paul.
There you go. Yeah, Vinnie
So
Paul's
like what
awesome. He came.
fucking loved.
So Vinny is, I have Vinnie Paul's story. So Vinny came to, we played with Marilyn Manson on tour and in Vegas at the Hard Rock.
When? I was there.
Vinny was there. Oh
I
God,
was
I
there.
don't
Wait,
remember.
stop. Hold on. I have pictures. I was out with Vinny and DJ Ashba
Oh my God.
backstage with
Wait,
Marilyn Manson.
did you see my band?
Holy shit.
Did you see September Morning that night? You
I saw
fucking
your
saw
band,
it because
dude.
I met DJ Ashford that night. And I met Vinnie Paul. And he loved
I
my
saw your
shit.
band.
John, you were at my show, like one of my
Bro,
first shows.
I knew you way before at NFTs.
Fucking crazy. That is
I was
so
at your
fucking
show.
crazy. I'm like, okay, mind leaking
I
out
have
of
pictures from that show. Literally, Vinny's like, come to this show. You got to see Marilyn Manson. We're going, what the fuck?
That was one of my first shows.
Hard Rock, right?
Yeah, Hard Rock in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Yeah. So we met. That's crazy. I went backstage with all those guys,
Yep.
met Marilyn Manson, met everybody.
You literally met me because I stood with Vinny and he was like, you've got something. You've got something. Keep going. You've got something. This is good. This is really good.
I've got to find the photos. That's fucking wild because there's a photo of all of us together. That's so cool.
That's fucking crazy.
Anyway.
That's fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Small
nuts.
world.
That's fucking nuts. So anyway, so we know each other from back in the day.
We know
We're
each other
old
way
friends.
back.
Who knew? Yeah,
Wow.
I forgot what I was talking about, but yeah, that's fucking nuts, man. Anyway, yeah. Like, so yeah, I got into
Warped Tour. Yeah, Warped Tour and Vinnie Paul.
Yeah, so Warped Tour, like, I mean, Attack Attack, like, all these bands, like, were these guys that I looked up to that I was like, okay, these guys are cool. They scream. They fucking scream. So, like, I'm backstage at an Under Oath show at Gramercy Theater, I think, in Manhattan one day. And this is during the Warped Tour, my Warped Tour's part of my life. And I'm back there and like there's all the Under Oath guys and like, I mean, anybody was back there because they were kind of like, they were coming off a high of like a big album and all this sort of stuff. So we were all just like hanging backstage and Melissa Cross was there. And Melissa Cross is like the Zen of Screaming. Like she created the Zen of Screaming, which basically became the template for every screamer on the fucking planet. Like if you are in a metal band and you scream, you've talked to Melissa Cross. Like you just have. Like she's taught you how to scream without fucking yourself. Like that's literally what she does. She comes up to me, she looks at me and she's like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, you know, I'm in this punk band and I kind of like metal. And she's like, do you know who I am? And I was like, no. And she's like, I'm Melissa Cross. I teach all of these guys how to scream. You want to learn how to scream? And I was like, oh, yeah. And she's like, well, I want you to be the Gwen Stefani of metal. And I was like, okay. And so like, I was like, she's like, come by my office. And like, and she basically like didn't charge me much of anything. Because I didn't have any money. And she was like,
yeah, you're a kid.
Yeah. I was like, fuck it. So like, she taught me how to scream like in like 2 weeks. Like, and I was just like, doing fry.
So you were taught by a legend. Like this is like the Gracie of jiu-jitsu of like the Gracies of like teaching throat, you know, from screaming.
Yeah, dude. She was like, and it was just because the universe was like, go to the fucking metal show. Okay, I'll go to the metal show. And there she is. Like, it was like, that's the universe just like flowing me to different places. And it's weird, even to this day, I'll get these like weird tingly sensations. Or I'll get itchy palms, or I'll get like, there's certain things that happen to me physically that before I have a meeting or this or that, the third, or I meet somebody and I'm just like, here we go again. Like, I know that there's like a turn in the road because my body knows that there's going to be a turn in the road, because the energy around me knows there's going to be a turn in the road. I really do believe in all that quantum physics shit. It's not like
Same.
horoscopy stuff. It's all
No,
fucking
same.
science, man.
It's all some type of magic on a science level, a
Yeah.
subatomic science level.
Yeah. I mean, science is magic, really. It really is. And yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It's just proven with theory. But yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you look in the ocean and you're going to tell me there aren't aliens on our planet?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Have you seen that? I saw this fish that lives like in the crevice of the fucking Mariana Trench or some shit. Holy shit, is this thing ugly? Like,
Dude,
oh
there's some
my
ugly
God.
fish down there.
Dude, well, it doesn't have any bones because like the compression like will just kill it's just, it looks kind of like that, but it has like bigger teeth and like eyebrows. I'm like, fuck, what? Like it looks like a Jim Henson's Muppet character squished.
I know exactly. I think what you're talking about. I'm gonna have to pull this up later.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm just like, this is some crazy ass shit. Like, there's places in the North Pole, I think it is the North Pole, that quantum science people have like measured time occurrences where like time is like literally reverse itself. And it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, we just don't fucking know what the fuck. Like we're guessing. We are so guessing at shit. And the fact that we don't realize at this point that time is not linear is just beyond me. Like it's like, and the fact that, like we're de-aging cells now. Like time is gonna, I think that it's gonna be so outdated in like 10 years. Like nobody's gonna care. Like it's not gonna be, it'll measure what we do in a day, but like as far as everything else, nobody's going to care because we're just going to be able to like maintain and fight entropy. And basically our whole lives we've just been fighting entropy, like that's like the point of our existence, fighting entropy until entropy gets us and then we all die. But like, if we can fight entropy successfully, like what does time even matter? Then it becomes inconsequential, really, because it's
What's a
not even
world
linear
without
at that
time?
time. It's like
What's a
circular.
world? Yeah, what's a world without time as a currency?
I think it's amazing. I think it's incredible. I think it's like, okay, I can take my time doing this. I don't have
Yeah.
to. But it's also perception. So time, a lot of time, what time is actually perception of the actual time. So we have to change our perception of what time is what I was saying about the linear effect. So if we don't perceive time in such a straight way, if we perceive it as like this, then it becomes something different. It becomes something totally different. It's defined different. Like, and if we can wrap our heads around that psychological barrier and like break through it, then we open up ourselves to even more expansion because we're not on a curfew. And you take a curfew off of something, you take a due date on it off. It can do one of two things. It can free you up if you're a driven person and a talented person, it can free you up. If you're lazy ass fuck, it'll just make you lazier and you just won't get it done. But like for
Yeah.
those that get shit done, like us, it becomes like the best thing in the world because then it becomes like, okay, we can just keep fucking going, like, and keep
Uh,
cupping, keep expanding, keep creating, keep like thinking of weird shit, boom, 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 boom. And it doesn't fucking matter because we're never going to run out of time because we fought entropy. Like it's just, the world becomes a more open place. And I
yeah, it's
think
almost
that's
a
where we travel through space because once we master time, we can travel through space.
I feel like if I was a comic book character, that would be what I would want, is to be able to master time.
Yeah, dude. Well, that's Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah.
He's like the dude. Like he's
Can
one of my
open the eye,
favorites.
master
He's like,
time. That's your favorite.
yeah, like he's my favorite. He's like just like fucking with time the whole time, like I mean, I don't know. There's so much we don't know. Like it is I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of quantum physics too much, but like there's a fucking rabbit hole. Like I'll stay up nights, till like 4 in
I
the
get
morning
obsessed.
and
Oh,
just, oh
I,
yeah,
I
I'll just like look up shit and then that'll lead to
well, like,
looking up all those shit. And
we're so close to all the answers of the universe. We're like
well,
so
it's weird
close.
because we're so close, but the minute we get close, it opens up this whole other
So
rabbit
many
hole.
more
So,
doors. Yeah, yeah.
so we're like, now we're even more far away. But we're close to what we perceived as the finality of it. We get closer to that, like every day. But the goalpost keeps on changing. So like, but that's good because
That's a good thing
it's a good
because
thing because that's how
what's
we're
the
gonna
end
go.
game, right?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's the journey, not the destination.
Well, why the fuck are we even here? Like, okay, you want to ask the question, why are we here? So why are we here, John? Why are we here? Easy
I've
answer.
always I've always assumed that this is my guess why we're here is to explore, to learn, to achieve, to grow, to,
Boom. You
challenge,
just said it. Evolution. We're here
to
for
evolve.
evolution, to evolve. That's the only reason why we're here. We're not here for like your fucking suitcase or your fucking glass of water or your fucking like tickets to whatever show. Like we're not here for your Ferrari that you bought. That's not why we're here. Those are things that make being here better. But we are here to evolve. So how are you evolving? And I want every person that listens to this, all three people that listen to my podcast,
Yeah, exactly. All
just
three listeners, I
all
love
three
you.
listeners, just to ask that question, like, am I evolving like every fucking day? That's how I live my life. I'm like, if I'm not evolving today, if I'm not doing something to change my perception or open up my mind or like teach myself something, like I'm not doing my job, or
Totally.
not even my job. I'm not celebrating the life I was given because this is
And your
such a
job as a
gift.
human.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
your
My
job as a yeah.
job as a human, as humanity is
Yeah.
same. So yeah.
It's like, yeah, you were given this gift and your job is not just to fill the void, but to actually do something with it.
Hmm.
I got obsessed when I started reading David Goggins stuff after listening to a
Oh,
podcast.
dude, so good. Oh my
So
God.
obsessed. Yeah, I got to like during the pandemic, I got obsessed with like him and like Wim Hof and like all these
Nice.
different,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so I like adapted to this mentality during the pandemic where I was like, okay, bro, the government's not going to save us. I can't sell art anymore. I can't sell photography. I've got to shut all my galleries down. I'm fucked. I owe investors money. I don't know what the fuck to do.
Mhm.
I'm in this situation. I start reading all these books. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start working out at like 1 a.m. during the pandemic, and then making steaks at like 4 a.m. And and then researching stocks till 6 a.m. when the opening bell, and then
Yeah,
day trading and
yeah,
options trading, and I'm gonna figure this shit out. And this
yeah.
was during the pandemic, and
Mm.
I sat down and like listened to all these podcasts about like when what happens when stock markets crash and the Federal Reserve, and started learning. I was like, wait, so money is all a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah,
The US dollar is a Ponzi scheme. And then I started diving in deeper, and like it all started with this like stay hard mentality of just like, fucking grow, because like I kept like listening to his stuff of like if you're not growing every single day. And because of that, like I literally just dove in so deep because I was just like a photographer, just taking photos, floating through life, just wanting to just and then the pandemic hit and it was like, we're completely fucking alone here. Like they don't give a shit about us. We're
yeah.
stuck in it. And I feel like I broke free from it, from the Matrix during the pandemic.
Yeah, I feel that too. I read the Bitcoin Standard and then I started passing it
Yes.
out as a PDF in rooms. I don't know if you remember that, but I would hold these
Hmm.
rooms with my
I
friends.
remember this.
And I was like up there with all the fucking Bitcoin maxis. It was like me and all these older men. It was like my dream. I'm just kidding.
My dream. They had
No,
never
kind of.
seen a woman in those rooms in their entire life.
Yeah, they were like, this hot metal chick loves us. This is great.
Right.
Like
They're like,
it was like,
what?
woo.
Metal chick and crypto?
Yeah, with big tits. It's fabulous. Anyway, so anyway, so I would like read the Bitcoin Standard. Then I just started being like, oh, have you not read it? I'll send you a PDF. And I just started passing them off to everybody. And then a couple of people that I passed off to, one girl in crypto founded Oni Force with some guys. And that was,
I remember
yeah,
Oni.
you remember
I was in
Oni
their
Force.
very first room when they were talking about building Oni with JR and M.
Yeah,
I remember Oni.
you know her.
Yep.
So like,
Love M.
yep. So she got the Bitcoin Standard from me.
The vagina artist.
Yeah, it's just like I gave everybody this thing,
Yeah.
and they were just kind of like, oh shit, this was before NFTs and then NFTs and then they started doing things. But like I feel like, oh, I kind of like helped them evolve.
You
Yeah,
facilitated.
facilitated it a little bit, which was pretty cool. So yeah.
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 I feel like that was definitely like when that was all happening to me, it like I know we kept saying this like it's the art revolution, but it felt like this renaissance, like how like kind of like how we came out of the plague and
Yeah.
then just, had the renaissance period of creation of science and art and
Yeah.
technology and all this cool shit. And it felt like that on like and on Clubhouse. Like we were all
Mm.
just like in this new domain. Like we were all broke free of this woke, fucking crazy world that we lived in. And all of a sudden we had broken out of this matrix and we had realized that money wasn't real.
Yeah,
And it was just,
exactly.
yeah,
That they're
constantly
fucking us different ways now. Yeah. Like the
every different way
government's fucking us in
possible.
different ways. Yeah. That everything you learned in school was wrong, basically. And like you shouldn't go into debt in college.
What the
What? Like,
fuck?
like
And
that was like
Christopher
the worst
Columbus
thing.
didn't find America?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, look, there's a lot of like history is written by the victors. That's what they always say, right? So like it's like
Yes.
so you always have to like I always doubt history because I always think that it's probably half true. Like there's probably half of it that's true. And then the other half was written by the people that won. So like you have to kind of like do the deep dive. It's kind of like fighting with somebody. It's like you're both fighting. So it's never one person's fault. Like, like there's going
Hmm.
to be fault on both sides. But like, so the bigger person or the person that's a little bit more emotional intelligent, like is going to be like, okay, what is my role in this bullshit, And they take away from the fight a little bit differently. They're like, okay, well, maybe if I handled this differently, or maybe if like I looked at this in a different perspective, or I mean,
Yeah.
I'm that person all the time, and so yeah, but I think that's
Well, I
how
think it's
history is.
important. I
I
think
know.
it's important, like, to learn the other side. Like, when I
Mhm.
disagree with something, my goal is to learn more about the side I disagree with and the side I actually understand.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, it's important for you to educate yourself. Because, like, when I first learned about Bitcoin, my friends and we bought acid with it on the Silk Road.
I mean, that's what you should do.
That's what we thought it was
That's
for.
what
Like,
people did. That's what it
I
was
won it in a
for. It was for
StarCraft.
buying
Yeah,
drugs.
I won it in like a StarCraft competition or something, and like
Nice.
we were like, dude, we can buy a Bible of acid with this,
That's
which is like
insane.
100 sheets of acid,
That's
right?
insane.
It's like a
That's a
thousand hits.
lot
We
of
were like,
acid. That's a
that's
lot
a
of
lot
candy
of acid.
flipping, John. That's a
That,
lot of candy flipping,
that's a lot of
which
raves.
was
That's a lot
my
of partying,
favorite. Oh, dude, fucking raves back in the day. Raves. Oof. Those were
dude. When they
fun.
had flyers, when they just handed out flyers, that was the only way to know about it. There
You
was no
had to go to
socials,
a place and find a guy, and then that guy would send you another place, and then you'd have to give him the code word, and then he'd give you a
dude.
flyer that had a puzzle piece on it. Then you had to go to a fucking phone booth and dial a number, and then like, I mean, it was fucking
It was
crazy.
so crazy.
I
So I
remember. Oh yeah,
graduated.
yeah,
I graduated in 2002, right?
right.
And so like the rave scene was really wild in 2001 and like 1999, 2000, all those times. And they would hand out flyers. But like our ritual before we get to school was like you'd eat, maybe like 10 hits of acid, like a strip.
Yeah.
And then you get to school. That was
Wow.
breakfast, right?
Damn.
We were
All right. You were
fucking, we were,
more
s-
hardcore than I was. I
we
couldn't
were,
handle
re-
that much acid, but I don't weigh that
there
much.
was nothing to do in Miranda. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
live,
true. That's true.
there
Yeah.
was just nothing to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, well, the clouds will melt today.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
we,
Yeah.
right? And you'd see these flyers get passed around, and they were the dopest flyers on the planet, by the way. You
Yeah.
remember like the glossy,
Oh yeah,
like
and the art was so crazy. It was like so
art was so
psychedelic
sick.
and weird. And I was like, "What the fuck is this?" But it's cool. Like, and
It
then the
was
higher I got, it looked even cooler. So it's like, this is really cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those were
that
fun.
totally felt like that plur movement, the peace,
Plur.
love,
Oh,
unity.
I remember that. Oh,
Does
Jesus
that not
Christ.
remind you of the NFT
Plur.
crypto like
Roar.
Clubhouse?
RAWR. Roar. I still say that.
But does that
I still bring that shit back.
like even the punk movement,
Hmm.
does that not all remind you of kind of like when we got into crypto and like the NFT movement?
Yeah, I mean, I would say this in Bitcoin rooms. I would say like fucking I was like NFTs and Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like the fucking metal movement. It's like a fucking hardcore. It's like going to a hardcore show. It's like the people that go to hardcore shows are devoutly invested in hardcore music. Like I mean, it's like church
Oh, dude,
amazing.
those guys were such maxis. Like, yes,
Hmm.
100%.
They wouldn't they like and then I was like so they all loved me, right? But then I got into NFTs, so they kind of were like, "Well, we love Emily, but we're not sure about what she's doing right now. So like I would still go into those rooms and people would let me on stage because they all loved me and they didn't want to hate me because of an
Yeah.
NFT that I was like doing so I could survive as a musician. Like they're like, why are we gonna hate on her when she's actually like putting it to good use in the real world? Like like it does not compute. It does not compute. So like they never like they never like really got mad at me. So it was like I think I like limboed my way out of that one, so I still became friends. And then they all switched into NFTs anyway. John Giardi, like fucking Jason
Everybody
Williams.
pivoted.
They all just started flipping that shit. I was like, come on, just make some money. Like, who cares?
It's fun.
Like, it's fun. It's fun.
It's way more fun than memes. Like,
oh
it's
God,
fun.
meme coins suck, dude. Like people are like,
fucking hate
meme
memes.
coins and stuff, and I'm just like, dude, you don't understand. I feel so old. I'm like, you just don't get it. You just don't get you don't get it. You don't get it. Yeah. And people are like, no, you don't understand. It's better because you don't have to deal with da da da. And I was like, yeah, but like the fact that so the more you have to do to get something, the more invested you are in it, the less likely you are to rug it. Like, so like, it's kind of like, like people just forget about that. And I'm like, you are conveniently forgetting about that. So like, that's the difference. So
like, think of the apes, man. We worked for our bags. There was no intrinsic value whatsoever to the apes other than us putting them on and being like, yo, let's go raid Dane Cook's room and piss him off with a bunch of apes and watch him block all of us. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
And that kind of shit. But we were working for Gary V, Grant Cardone. None of those fucking guys knew what apes were.
No.
Until we went on those stages and they were like, the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, okay.
Wait a minute. What is this? They smelled money and they all came over. But like,
we worked for our bags though.
Dude, funny story about the apes. So I totally missed out on I was in the first room. I could have bought all of them. Like I literally had the money at that point because of my sales. But like I didn't buy one ape. You know why? Because I was friends with one of the guys that was in that band, the Gorillas. Do you remember that band, the Gorillas?
Yes, so many people didn't buy the apes because they thought it was ripping off the gorilla art.
The gorilla guys were like, do not buy those apes. And I was like, okay. Like, I was like, well, for my friends, I can't buy these apes, but okay, I'll just support. I wanted to fucking kill those motherfuckers. I don't even talk to them anymore. And it's like, and I'm like, I would have been a multi-billionaire at this point. Like, are you kidding me?
Swept the floor.
I would have swept the floor. I would have been like, all right, like, because I was like buying shit. So I didn't care. Like, like, and a part of me was like, just buy one and put it in a secret wallet. They'll never know. But then I was like, I can't fucking do that to my friends. So I never really bought one. And then later I was like, well, like couple years, like 2 years ago, so like when the price started going way down, I was like, well, maybe I'll just buy a mutant and just like have one in a wallet. But I still never really did it. I was just kind of like, I don't know. Like,
do you know my ape story?
No, what's your ape story?
My ape story is that me and my wife like had just gotten into NFTs for like the last 6 months, right? And I, as you know, we were on Clubhouse non-fucking stop. And like my wife was so fucking tired of it. Yeah. She's just like, you're never here. Like you're on Clubhouse with Paris Hilton and MC Hammer talking about mayonnaise. Like
you're like, where's my husband? Oh.
Yeah. Like what the fuck are you doing with your life? And then so one night I got ripped off some art on Clubhouse that a girl had like ripped off of stock images. And me, do you remember Jen Stein?
Oh, I love Jen. Yeah.
Fucking love Jen. So me and Jen bought the art together. Okay. We both bought a piece together. And we ended up finding it was fake. And I was like, bro, I've been fucking supporting artists, spending my own money. Like I got ripped off. I need a fucking night off. I need to chill, right? Yeah. So I put my phone down, I turned it off, and I took some mushrooms.
Nice.
I was like, I haven't taken mushrooms.
Always good.
Always good. And I hadn't done mushrooms probably since like high school, dude. Like, you know, it was like.
I did them. I started doing them during NFTs because I was just so fucking bored, man. Everybody was so bored.
Microdosing. I took a heroic dose because I figured, like, let's go take an eighth. Nice. Like we used to, 3.5 milligrams. Let's fucking rock. Yep. And I'm outside, fucking like talking about aliens and shit like that. Nice. And, losing my mind. And then we're going to bed. It's like 2 a.m. or maybe midnight, whatever. And I'm like, I should just check my phone because we're all fucking addicted at that point to checking our phones. We were in telegrams and everything.
Right, right.
I'm in a photo chat with Jeff Nicholas and a bunch of other photographers, and Jeff Nicholas is going fucking ape shit. just
Excuse
posting
the
the fucking
pun.
chat. Yeah, fucking these apes, you guys, we gotta fucking mint these apes. Blau's minting, fucking,
Yeah.
Aoki's gonna be like, everyone's fucking minting.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, well, we gotta fucking mint. And I'm like, I texted him like, dude, do I really gotta mint? Because I'm tripping balls. I gotta open my
Tripping
ledger.
balls.
I don't even know if I can open my ledger.
Oh my
Like,
God.
there's
Yeah, that's
at
hard.
point, these are
Yeah.
symbols, like,
Yeah.
like they're not even numbers. And
Yeah.
he's like, bro, these are going to be the next CryptoPunks.
Oh wow.
Go mint. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jeff had like this foresight.
God,
He's
I
like,
wish
you
you
gotta
had
go
talked
mint.
to me back then and been like, bitch, who cares about your friends? Mint the fucking
I know.
apes.
I fucking feel terrible. I wish I'd like texted Jen because I was so high. I should have texted Jen because
Yeah.
we both agreed to take the night off.
Yeah.
And so like I go to my computer, I start fucking minting high as shit. And I mint like 3 or 4 and I'm like, well, these are fucking cool. And I didn't have a lot of money. I was using our wedding money.
Oh my God, your wife must have been like, we are getting a divorce.
Literally, she's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh my God.
So I'm minting these things.
God. I would have killed you. I would have cut your hand off.
And because I'm so fucking high, I mint like 13 and I just fucking mint out like all of our.
Good for you. Dinner's on you next time.
And I was so blitzed. And and then I just come into the room. She's just like, what the fuck, dude? It's like 3 a.m. Like I thought we were going to like chill, lay in bed. And I'm just like, what? Like this is going to change our lives. She's like, if this is the thing that changes our lives, God damn it. And then next thing you know, these things like fucking run to millions. But yeah, that was the wildest.
Do you still
fucking
have
event.
them? Did you sell them? Did you?
So wilder even story is I ended up selling them, all of them, but the one that I ended up selling to the guy for like 1.5 million, he accidentally sent me $1 million in my wallet.
Damn.
Yeah, I just like was at a furniture store. We had made some money off of my photography, and I was like, "Yeah, we made some money off NFTs. Let's go get a leather couch, right?"
Yeah.
We walk into the furniture store, and I get this email from a guy named Deepak.
Oh, I remember Deepak.
Remember Deepak,
I remember
right? So
Deepak.
he's like,
that was a big whale. He was a big whale.
Big whale. Well, I was his entry into Web3 because he sent me 240 ETH on accident. Trying to bid on my ape, he withdrew it and then tried to retract it by sending it to himself from his hot wallet, which he had like 17,000 ETH in his hot wallet.
Oh my fucking God.
So he's trying to retract it and he sends it to me on accident and he sends me this email. You can keep 10%. And I'm like, oh, well, this is obviously a wash. Like someone's trying to wash their money.
Yeah.
So I call Keith Grossman, right?
Right.
Keith, what the fuck?
Do I do?
He's the most he's the most responsible person I know.
Yeah.
And he's like, call your lawyer. And I'm like, Keith, I don't have a fucking lawyer. Like,
I'm buying a couch, dude. That's like where we're at right now.
That's
like,
where we're at with life, bro. Like,
I'm excited about the fucking couch. Okay?
Like into my rental home. Like, fucking have a lawyer. Like, not everyone had an accountant since they were 12, Keith. So he's just like, so he's like, call your lawyer. So my wife has a friend who's a lawyer. So I was like, I'll call her. Well, during this time, like, I'm like, fuck it, dude. I'm just going to DM this motherfucker at like 4 a.m., right? And I'm like, yo, Deepak, why would you send me $1 million? If you can explain this without like, fucking this up, I'm willing to send it back because I'm not going to keep your money, man. No matter what, you're getting your money back. But you got to explain to me why this isn't a wash trade and what you did. And bro is like, I was fucking transferring money back and forth. I fucked up and, I made a mistake. I was just stupid shit. Like, he's like, it happens. And I'm like, what? Like, it just happens? You just actually said, he's like, yeah, I just copied and pasted and actually sent you the $1 million. And I'm like, well, you want my ape, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, bro, I want more. I'm like, let's negotiate. And we negotiated. We ended up at like $1.42 million. Oh
my fucking God. Had you ever seen that type of money before?
Fuck no.
Yeah. So when it happened and you got it, did you cash it all to fiat? Were you like, okay, I'm going to keep this in crypto? Am I going to?
Instant cash to fiat.
Yeah.
Instant cash to fiat.
Yeah.
I was like, I've never seen money like this in my life, and that's enough.
And I'm gonna, yeah.
There's no doubling it in the casino. There's no. As soon as I would sell the ape, I was like, and the day or two after, he bought my mutants for another 250 ETH. Wow. So like another $1 million, and then he bought so it was like $3 million all at once.
Jesus
and it was like
Christ.
Cash out instant.
Yeah.
Like buy a house for my family.
I haven't had those wins. Like that is not the wins I've had, but that's amazing.
That was instant.
But
it was instant cash
crazy.
Out where it was like, buy a house for my family, buy a car that I own, buy the camera that I've dreamed of, focus on, structure and not blowing all of this on my goddamn photography and my business like I've always done.
Yeah. Like evolve, right? Evolve.
Yes.
But you had to learn those. You're lucky that you learned those lessons before, so that when you did get the windfall, that you didn't fucking fuck it up. So I feel like something like that's happening right now in some things that I'm doing. And I feel like when the windfall comes, I'll be so prepared with it because I won't fuck it up. Because I did get an influx of cash when I did break my bones on the marble staircase. I sued, and I did get an influx of cash. It wasn't a lot, but it was, for me it was, because I was like, a homeless poor chick, so it was like, for me it was like a lot of money, but
Yeah, it's like life changing.
life changing, and I
Yeah,
got to move
I
back
get
to
it.
New York and do my thing, and moved my gay boyfriend with me. And so of course I did. And the
We'll
stories
go back
about
to that.
the
We'll go back to
stories
that.
about my gay boyfriend and I were hilarious. Like,
We'll go back to that.
what, like, crazy shit. That could be a whole other podcast. Me and my gay boyfriend.
Could be a comic
Um,
book.
Fucking crazy, nuts. But yeah, so like, but I think that I got that really young, and I just fucking blew through it because I just didn't know. Like, and now I'm just so different with money. Like, and also I understand money better, and I understand how it works, and I understand, you know, diversification and growing assets and things that I can do to make things happen so I don't have to work every day, like I did, like, not that I've never really worked a job. I've always been a metal musician or a songwriter or singer, or like, I've always worked in the arts, full-time artist. So
Yeah.
lucky like that, a lot of people can't say that, but um but yeah, so yeah, I think that's you learned your lesson now, and then you got the windfall, and then it became, yeah, you were lucky, man. I wish I was in those fucking rooms. Like, I'm so mad at my friend. You have no idea. Like, and that's kind of what broke up our, I was like, like, I just, he would call me, and I was like, I don't really want to talk to you right now. Like, I have like nothing to, I could have changed my life, and like,
But what is like luck? It's like preparedness meets opportunity, right? Because
preparation meets opportunity. Yeah.
yeah. Because it was like I had a winning lottery ticket, but I could have sold it at 70th. I could have sold
Yeah.
it at 100th.
Yeah.
But I was stupid, thinking one day someone's going to walk in here and just offer me the right amount, and it's going to be life-changing money. Because there was one time where someone offered me 100 ETH for that space ape, and
Yeah.
my wife looked at me and she's like, "We don't have any money.
Yeah.
Like, are you out of your fucking
Yeah.
mind, dude?"
Yeah.
And I was like, just trust the madness.
Yeah. I did that once with, like, so I did the Boss Logic Mint, the first one he did. And I got a gauntlet that was like really rare. I got the Gucci gauntlet, which is like,
Oh,
everybody wanted the fucking Gucci gauntlet. And I was getting some crazy ass offers on it. And I was like, it wasn't like millions of dollars, but it was like, like five figures, six figures sometimes. So I was like, that's good money for me. So I was just like, and I remember I was sitting in my guitarist's living room with his mom. And I was like, oh, I just got another offer on my gauntlet. And she's like, you should take it. You should just take it. And I was like, no, I'm going to wait. Cause like, and also I was talking to Boss. He became a friend after all that. And so we ended up talking like a lot. And so I was like, you know what? I want to support him in the projects. I don't really want to sell it because I want to still be in his project. And he's saying all
we
this.
always did that. I got to support my friends. I can't sell.
And I didn't
So
sell. And
dumb.
I missed out on like a 6-figure sale because, well, but we kind, you live and learn. Well,
We
5-figure
supported our
sale,
friends.
sale, but whatever.
Yeah, Nadia from Pussy Riot sent me like this dope thing that I immediately got a 10 ETH offer on.
Nice.
And I was like, I got to support Nadia. Can't sell it. And it's like, that was 50 grand.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
40 grand.
I was like, yeah, I could have made like so much money on this. And I just like.
And our friends probably would have been like, fuck yes.
Yeah,
do
they
that.
would have been like, take the win. Like,
Take the money.
And I never asked Boss if I could do it because I didn't want to like be like that person. Like, oh, can I sell your shit? Like, yeah, I didn't. And also there was like this weird stigma. Like, if you did sell, like, it was like, it's kind of like meme coins. Oh, you sold your bag? What?
Sell shaming.
You made money? Shame. How dare you? How dare you in a financial space make motherfucking money? Who are you? Like, meanwhile, those motherfuckers have rugged every coin. Like, so they're basically, you're the exit liquidity anyway. So like, it's just like, yeah, it's fucking crazy shit.
I love how we scream though for decentralization, and then we sit there and fucking sell shame.
Oh,
how
God.
dare you be decentralized?
Yeah, exactly. That's why true decentralization, like, that shit's never gonna work. Like,
It doesn't exist.
Because it doesn't exist. It just doesn't work scientifically. Like, it just won't work. Like, our brains aren't designed like that. Like, we we don't work like that, you know. And it's so we have these like lofty ideas, these utopian ideas, like, and it's just so funny, and people are so married to them, and say that one day it'll be like that. And I was like, not unless our actual brains change. Like the chemistry and neural pathways need to like evolve to a greater length for
We
us
need
to,
to mature.
yeah, to actually be able to comprehend living like that. Like, because 98% of the planet won't live like that. They just won't.
They don't
So
want to.
no, they don't. People love comfort. You
Mhm.
know, it's easy. Like, it's not easy being a trailblazer, or doing like a fucking crazy graphic novel art project, or like doing your photography, or doing anything in the arts. We're fucking nuts. Like we chose the hard path. We didn't chose the comfortable, two kids and a dog and a white picket fence, and like go to the school and get the doctor and the blah blah blah. Like, that's not what we chose, right? But you and I
No.
grew up like, where that never was in our peripheral anyway. So like, it was never
Yeah,
an option.
I wasn't going to college.
No, that was never an option. It was just like, that wasn't happening. Like, you know, so it's but I think that like it's people that aren't, like, people talk about like, oh, families like have to, you know, you have to be a solid family structure and unit, and or that's the best way to bring up kids. I was like, throw them to the wolves, man. Let the Darwinism take it, like, from here. Like, that's what happened to me. They threw me to the pack, and I came back. They threw me to the pack thinking I'd get eaten alive, and I came back wearing a fucking like robe of a wolf, of a fur coat, leading the motherfucking pack. Like, so like, don't fuck with me, you know, like. But yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Darwinism. So yeah.
September Morning, you guys are touring. Anything going on right now that you can talk about?
We
Anything you want to promote?
Yes, we are dropping on October 3rd. We are dropping a new song called Bite Back. It is going to be all over streaming. I'm probably going to NFT it at some point. So
Let's
be on the
go.
lookout for that. Grab one and come out to a show. Like, you have to see what we do live. John, you've seen me. You just didn't remember, apparently. So, but you saw like one of the first iterations. So like, I don't even look like that anymore on stage. Like, the whole costume has changed. Like,
Inspire that look before you leave. I have to know.
Japanese culture and Grecian warrior culture. Like, if you look at,
So awesome.
yeah, it's very, she's a Valkyrie for the dead, basically. So I wanted her to be a warrior. So I like delved into Grecian, Roman, Japanese kind of like outfits for war. And that's what
That's
I kind
awesome.
of,
Let's do this again,
okay,
because I could literally go for like 8 hours with you. So
yeah,
let's
this
do
is
this
fun. It's
again
fun
for sure.
to talk to you. Like, I think we have a lot of similar experiences in life, which is interesting. So
yeah, we got that chemistry.
yeah, we got it, man. We got it.
Thank you so much for taking your time to do this. Let's do this again soon.
Bye.